Hey, it's Joe, and welcome back to Humanfluence. Imagine entering a world where the boundaries between science and spirituality dissolve, where the physical and the spiritual are not opposing forces but two sides of the same coin, each revealing deeper truths about the human experience and the cosmos. This is the vision that Rudolf Steiner brought to life. A vision where we explore not just the material world, but the spiritual dimensions that underpin our very existence. Steiner's work, which spans across education, agriculture, medicine, social reform, and more, is united by a single profound idea: that to truly understand the world and ourselves, we must integrate the spiritual with the material. At the heart of Steiner's teachings is Anthroposophy, which he described as a path of knowledge to guide the spiritual and the human being to the spiritual and the universe. Anthroposophy is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life, a practical approach that encourages us to see beyond the surface of reality and into the spiritual forces that shape our lives. Steiner believed that the physical world is only one aspect of a greater reality, and to grasp the fullness of existence, we must learn to perceive the spiritual dimensions that lie beyond our senses. He viewed the human being as holistic. He taught that we are not just physical bodies, but complex beings, made up of body, soul, and spirit. Our bodies connect us to the physical world. Our souls are the seat of our emotions, desires, and thoughts. And our spirits are our eternal essence, connected to the divine and the cosmos. Understanding this trinity is key to Steiner's approach to spiritual science, where each aspect of our being plays a crucial role in our journey through life and beyond. One of his most profound contributions is his theory of the evolution of consciousness. He believed that human consciousness has evolved through distinct stages, each corresponding to different epochs in history. In the earliest times, during the Polarian epoch, human consciousness was dreamlike, with no clear distinction between self and the external world. As humanity progressed through the Hyperborean and Lemurian epochs, we began to take on physical form and develop a sense of individuality, yet we remained closely connected to spiritual realities. The Atlantean epoch marked a significant shift, where human consciousness became more focused on the physical world, developing memory and a sense of linear time. However, this period also brought moral challenges, as humanity began to grapple with the forces of good and evil. Today we live in the post-Atlantean epoch, where intellectual thinking has become dominant, but often at the expense of our connection to the spiritual. Steiner believed that our task now is to reintegrate this spiritual wisdom with our intellectual capacities, paving the way for a new stage of consciousness that harmonizes science, art, and spirituality. One of the most practical applications of Steiner's ideas is Waldorf education. Waldorf schools are not just about teaching facts, they are about nurturing the whole child, head, heart, and hands. Steiner understood that children develop in stages, and education should meet them where they are at each stage. In early childhood, Waldorf education focuses on imaginative play and artistic activities, which lay the foundation for healthy physical and emotional development. As children grow, the curriculum evolves, introducing more complex intellectual concepts while continuing to engage the emotions and the will. The goal? To create well-rounded individuals who are not just knowledgeable, but also creative, compassionate, and capable of critical thinking. Art, music, and movement are integral to the Waldorf curriculum, not as add-ons, but as essential components of a balanced education. Steiner believed that these activities help connect the child to their inner life and to the spiritual world, fostering a sense of wonder and reverence for life. Education, in Steiner's view, is not just about preparing for a career, but about nurturing the soul's journey through life, helping each child grow into their fullest potential. But Steiner's vision didn't stop at education. He also revolutionized agriculture with his development of biodynamic farming. Biodynamic agriculture is a holistic, ecological, and ethical approach to farming and treats the farm as a self-sustaining organism, deeply connected to the rhythms of the earth and the cosmos. Steiner introduces this approach in response to the declining quality of soil and food, which he saw as a result of industrial farming practices that ignored the spiritual dimensions of nature. In biodynamics, farmers work with the natural forces of the earth and the cosmos, using special preparations made from herbs, minerals, and manure to enhance the vitality of the soil and plants. The timing of planting, harvesting, and applying these preparations is guided by the phases of the moon and the positions of the planets, reflecting the belief that the health of the farm is intimately connected to the greater universe. Biodynamic farming is not just about growing food, it's about cultivating a deep relationship with the land, understanding that the physical, spiritual, and cosmic are all interconnected. Steiner's ideas also extended to society as a whole. He developed the concept of the threefold social order, a model for structuring society in a way that reflects the spiritual nature of the human being. He envisioned society as divided into three spheres: the cultural spiritual, which includes education, religion, and the arts; the political legal, which governs laws and rights; and the economic sphere, which deals with the production and distribution of goods and services. He believed that each of these spheres could operate independently according to its own principles, but in harmony with the others. In his view, the cultural spiritual sphere should be free and independent, allowing for creativity and spiritual development, without interference from the state or economic forces. The political legal sphere should be based on principles of equality, ensuring that all individuals have a voice and are treated fairly. The economic sphere, on the other hand, should be guided by brotherhood and cooperation, focusing on meeting the needs of all rather than maximizing profit. This threefold structure, he believed, would create a more just and balanced society where the dignity and spiritual nature of every human being is respected. But perhaps one of the most profound aspects of Steiner's work is his exploration of the etheric world, a dimension that lies between the physical and the spiritual. He taught that the etheric body is a subtle, energetic layer that gives life to the physical body and is connected to the rhythms of nature and the cosmos. This etheric body is where memories are stored, where the forces of life reside, and where healing processes occur. Understanding and working with the etheric world is central to Steiner's approach to health, education, and agriculture. He spoke of the astral body, which is the seat of our emotions and desires, and the ego, or I, which is the spiritual core of our being. The ego, according to Steiner, is what makes us truly human, giving us the ability to reflect, to make choices, and to grow. The task of spiritual development, in Steiner's view, is to harmonize these different aspects of our being: physical, etheric, astral, and ego, so what we can live in alignment with is our highest purpose. And central to Steiner's spiritual teaching is the understanding of esoteric Christianity and the role of the Christ impulse. He saw Christ not just as a historical figure, but as a cosmic being whose incarnation on Earth was a pivotal event in the evolution of humanity and the cosmos. The Christ impulse, according to Steiner, is a transformative force that works within the human soul, guiding the evolution of consciousness and leading humanity towards spiritual freedom. For Steiner, the events of Christ's life, his birth, death, and resurrection, are not just historical but spiritual realities that continue to unfold within each of us. The Christ impulse is a living force that we can awaken within ourselves, allowing it to transform our inner lives and our relationship with the world. As you can tell, his vision of Christianity is deeply esoteric, emphasizing the inner path of spiritual development, the role of Christ as the central figure in the spiritual evolution of humanity. His work is vast, encompassing not only spiritual science, but also practical applications that have touched countless lives. His ideas inspiring Waldorf schools, biodynamic farms, new approaches to medicine, and social initiatives around the world. But more than that, his legacy is one of awakening, a call to see the world with new eyes, to recognize the spiritual dimensions of life, and to engage with the world in a way that honors this connection to the divine. Steiner believed that by integrating this spiritual knowledge with our daily lives, we could create a world that is more just, more creative, and more in harmony with the cosmos. His work is an invitation to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world, to live with a sense of purpose and reverence, and to participate in the ongoing evolution of consciousness. As we reflect on these contributions, it's clear that the vision was not created in isolation. Throughout history, there have been other thinkers, mystics, and visionaries who, like Steiner, sought to bridge the gap between the material and the spiritual. One such figure is Helena Blavatsky, the co-founder of the Theosophical Society, whose teachings on the ancient wisdom traditions influenced Steiner in his early years. Her exploration of the hidden dimensions of reality and her emphasis on the evolution of the soul resonated deeply with Steiner's own work. They both believed in the existence of higher spiritual realities and the importance of spiritual development as a path to greater understanding and enlightenment. Another contemporary of Steiner was Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist and founder of analytical psychology. Jung's work on the collective unconscious and archetypes parallels Steiner's ideas about the spiritual dimensions of human consciousness. Jung's exploration of the psyche as a gateway to deeper spiritual truths complements Steiner's teachings on the evolution of consciousness and the inner life of the soul. Both saw the importance of integrating the shadow aspects of the self, recognizing that true spiritual growth involves embracing and transforming the full spectrum of human experience. G.I. Gurdjieff, a mystic and spiritual teacher, also shared a vision of human development that echoes Steiner's work. Teachings of the Fourth Way, a path of conscious evolution that integrates physical, emotional, and intellectual work. Again, aligning with Steiner's emphasis on harmonizing different aspects of the human being. In the realm of social reform, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, which was a French Jesuit priest, paleontologist, and philosopher, shared Steiner's vision of a world evolving toward greater spiritual consciousness. Teilhard's concept of the Omega Point, a future state of collective consciousness where humanity converges with the divine, mirrors Steiner's ideas about the evolution of consciousness and the Christ impulse. Both thinkers saw humanity as part of a larger cosmic process. These connections highlight that Steiner was part of a broader movement of spiritual renewal and exploration that spanned the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This movement sought to reconnect humanity with the spiritual roots that had been obscured by the rise of materialism and industrialization. As we continue to explore Steiner's legacy and the work of these other great thinkers, we are reminded that the journey of spiritual development is both individual and collective. Humanfluence, out.